All right, what up, kids? What up? What's going on? Today we're going to talk men's adventure. We're doing men's adventure reviews, and we are actually doing this in honor of our upcoming live video. I've got Bob Dice and Wyatt Doyle from the Men's Adventure Library, who put out these wonderful books like Barbarians on Bikes, Man Eaters, look at that, all shark stories, and this brand new updated edition of He-Men, Bagmen, and Nymphos. And these are stories by Walter Kalin. And if you aren't aware of the Men's Adventure Library, there's their little logo there. They put together stories that originally appeared in men's adventure magazines from the 50s to the 70s, and they compile them in these books. They got themes, or they've got specific authors. They also do art books of all the beautiful artwork that appeared in those magazines. So I am going to be talking live with Bob and Wyatt on May 25th, this Sunday. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on my channel. Come back, it's live. That means you, the viewer, can ask them questions. So you can type it in there in the live chat, pop it up on screen, and you can ask them. They're the experts. I'm but a novice. So the quickies here, the quickies reviews are short reviews. I used to, before I started the Book Graveyard blog or anything, I used to just write the reviews on my old Instagram account, my personal Instagram account. So these are all reviews that I got from there. I printed them out. I'm going to read them. I'm going to read the reviews to you, and then I'm going to tell you what I remember about the books. We're going to be talking about A Handful of Death, which is like spy espionage. Men's Adventures by Con Sellers. And then we got the Cortes Letter here by Michael Gillette. And this is a treasure hunting adventure. And then we got the very first, this holds a special place in my heart, the very first Hawk book I ever read. This is the Hawaiian Takeover, I believe, what is it, number 13? My Cock, by Dan Strebe. And I've talked a million times about Hawk on this channel, so we're gonna go back and see what my very first initial thoughts were on the Hawk series, where it all started. We're gonna do that one last. So up first, we got here, Con Sellers, A Handful of Death. Con Sellers is my favorite English community college teacher. This was put out by Beeline, which normally put out sleaze. So, and it's not sleazy, which is kind of surprising. So they put out a real espionage fiction non-sleaze book. Here's what I had to say. 1966, A Handful of Death by Con Sellers. Let me start this off with, What a mess. The hero is a Japanese, Korean, American spy named Pat something. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure what his real name was supposed to be. He had like 5 aliases. It was nuts and never really clear which was his real name. Yeah, you just stated that. Also, it's not clear what nationality his background is. He talks about being Korean, having a Korean dad, but living in Okinawa. So he's Japanese, maybe his mom was Japanese. But then he is recruited by the US later on, or he was born in the US. And there was some Irish stuff in there. Seriously, so confusing. Also confusing is the plot. He's supposed to trade $1 million US to underground communists for other nations' currency. And they're supposed to track it or something to find the communists. The whole time I was like, I'm sure it will all make sense eventually. Nope. So he's in Korea posing as a Japanese businessman with an American connection. He hangs out with a prostitute who's somehow involved, but I never understood how. There's some people after him. He uses karate on them. It's hilarious. People are terrified of karate in this book. It could have used more of it, actually. There's a lot of him pontificating on life and his job. It sucks. Just spy and karate, man. It's so easy. And then the book ends without settling anything or anything happening. I was like, are you kidding? This is how you're going to end this? Also, the most misspelled words in any book that I've ever read. This book is so bad that it's charming and would have been right up my alley if more had just happened. So there is the, there we go, A Handful of Death. Get a zoom in on that cover. I do remember that she never appears in that ripped up dress, shooting off that fucking machine gun and kicking ass. Look at that. Karate! It was hilarious how much they blew up karate like it was this insane thing that as if you fought someone with karate, you were gonna die. You had no hope whatsoever. But yeah, there is a lot of him just sitting around, sulking, thinking about his life. It was so fucking boring. The cover blurb says, "The Orient's James Bond and a killer die fight against communist agents." It never made sense. I never understood. I have no idea what the fuck this book is about. No idea. So up next, we got here the Cortes Letter. Michael Gillette. This was on Avon in 1983. I do like that cover. It does look like an exciting adventure. Let's see what I thought about it back when I read it. 1983, The Cortes Letter by Michael Gillette. The best a man can get. No. Sorry, it was hard to pass up this being another in our ongoing dive into the men's adventure section of the used bookstore. I love these quick reads of the MA genre. Yeah, still do. No filler. No character development. God, I love it. I love no character development. Just plot and go. I picked this up because it takes place in the Superstition Mountains, which happens to be down the street from me, which is where I lived at the time. There's a local legend here in Phoenix of the Lost Dutchman's Mine, which is a hidden gold mine somewhere in the Superstition Mountains. What this book proposes is that the gold located in the mine is actually from a group of surviving Aztecs who traveled here from Mexico 500 years ago, and that when people go missing in the mountains, that it is the doing of Aztec sacrifices. The main character is an impatient and kind of dickhead college professor. I found him really unlikable. He snaps at other people for no reason. He's a shitty boyfriend. And then he gets mad when his girlfriend goes off and with some other guy. To get over his lady dumping him for a Frenchman, how dare she? His cop buddy is like, take a vacation. He buys a ticket to Cancun, Mexico, solves a random bar argument with his professor knowledge of gold treasure in the local waters, meets a local well-to-do guy and his babe niece. Next day goes scuba diving, finds buried treasure. It's some gold and a letter from Cortes to the King of Spain. He takes it back to his room, hides the items, goes out with the babe, gets laid, back to room and it's been ransacked. Lets babe in on the secret. She's got local connections to fully translate the letter. Professor is a jerk to everyone. People start dying. He runs back to the US, gets accosted by modern-day ancient Aztec guy on the plane. I guess he had a passport. Seems strange for a member of an underground conspiracy cult existence. I don't know what that means. Back in the US, Professor puts it all together and goes hunting in the Superstition Mountains for some definitive proof. This was alright. It was fun. It moved fast. Not much depth. The ideas behind it are outlandish, but whatever. Like I've said, it's not like I'm reading literature here. There's the Cortes Letter. Where is she? There she is. I remember this book being a lot of fun. Way more fun than that review sounds. I have fond memories of reading this book, and you know what's funny is, out of the 3 books, this one's probably like the best, and it's the only one that's not in a bag. This is the bag-worthy book. The other 2 are in bags. I told you, it's bag-worthy is chaos, man. Who knows how it happens? But yeah, that was fun. And it was really cool because at the time I lived in Phoenix, so they were talking about, like, right there. I love when reading a story that takes place in the place that I'm living. It's so much fun. It's only happened once while living here in Dayton, and that was the Butcher, the Terror Truckers. Speaking of men's adventure, I went on the Paperback Warrior with my friend Brian from Bad Taste Books, and me and him and Eric did a group review of The Butcher Terror Truckers. I'll put a link for that down there in case you missed it. All right, last up, the magic that is Hawk. Mike Hawk. Figure that one out? Did you figure it out? It took me 4 books, and I still didn't get it. Speaking of Brian from Bad Taste Books, he got it on his first read. He's like, did you guys realize this guy's name is Mike Hawk? We were just like, what? So, yeah, this is put out by Jove here, 1981, Dan Streebster. Here's what I had to say for my very first Hawk read. 1981, Hawk number 13, The Hawaiian Takeover by Dan Streeb. Oh boy, I got this because it looked like an Andy Sedaris movie, but in book form. Very, very proper. It's a good start there, old Nick. And it sort of is. The big difference being that in his movies, Andy Sedaris movies, the women are usually the tough heroes. I mean, yeah, lots of boobs, lots of sex, but still heroes. In this book, the main character is this super manly man, and women are not so tough. There is one female cop who has her moments, but usually it's just Hawk bossing her around. So, Hawk is a reporter and never once writes at all in this book. He's also very, very rich, because some woman he saved a while ago died and gave him money or something. I still feel the same. I read the first book now, and I still feel the same. Like, what? It doesn't make sense. He's also used by the CIA when they need something taken care of illegally. He's a master of guns, can fly helicopters, has a big dick, has at least 6 rounds of sex every go, amazing lover, master of espionage, hand-to-hand combat, knows what the bad guys are always going to do. He tells the cops what to do at all times, and on. It's fucking hilarious. It's so ridiculously over the top. He meets the female Chinese cop, and within a minute she's making out with him after he made a horribly racist comment about not liking Chinese people except the beautiful ones. God, I love Hawk. She legit goes, well, every person is different with different personalities, and then makes out with him. It's bonkers. The story is about a secret society of Chinese people trying to take over the Hawaiian government from the inside. It's really bad, but also so ridiculous it's funny. There is a hooker assassin who Hawk is about to get it on with, who pulls a gun out of her vagina. And yes, all that shit on the cover is in the book. Guy thrown in lava, lots of naked ladies, lots of guns, and yes, he knife fights a shark. There's a lot of shitty things in this book, but it's also really funny, but not on purpose. So there we have it. Let's take a closer look at that cover in case you missed it. That is some fucking action. That is some men's adventure right there. That is beautiful. You know who did this cover? Samson Pollen. Do you know who put out the collected men's adventure artwork of Samson Pollen? That would be the Men's Adventure Library, Bob Dice and Wyatt Doyle. Why didn't I grab the book? Bam. Samson Pollen, Pollen's Women. He did the Hawk covers. Where's the Hawk book? Yeah, see that? Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Yeah, so there we go. We're talking to the Men's Adventure Library, Robert Dice, Wyatt Doyle, Sunday, May 25th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live right here on my channel. Be here. It's going to be manly. It's going to be tough. It's going to be the 3 toughest guys you've ever seen on the internet. And that's it. That's all for today. You don't even have to subscribe today. Just show up on Sunday. That's all that matters. Turn it off.